I am furious.
I'm furious for you.
And this is the last straw.
Yep.
I'm not watching her show anymore. I'm not going to talk about her anymore. I am going to unfollow her right now. Literally, I'm unfollowing her.
We traveled the country with a fucking picture of her fucking face and that they set up every fucking night on fucking
my tour.
stage.
I have literally defended her.
When nobody else did.
When no one else did.
Who does she hate? Give it to Prince William. I mean, I'm petty as fuck. That's what I would do.
No, I'm not. No.
Okay.
I'm not. I love Kate Middleton.
I know. Well, now you're her number one motherfucking fan.
Number one fucking fan.
Something shifted in Meghan Markle's American reputation in 2023. What had once been a story of glamour, opportunity, and reinvention suddenly unraveled into criticism from both Hollywood insiders and political commentators. Behind the public smiles lay something more telling: the quiet erosion of support among those who once defended her most fiercely. To understand why, we need to trace the patterns, from failed reconciliations and fractured friendships to the deeper perception that Meghan built her narrative on victimhood, even as the evidence suggested otherwise.
All falling apart for Meghan Markle in America. She is now being criticised by both major celebrities and major political figures too. Meanwhile, she decides to cash in.
The key players are by now familiar: Meghan Markle, Duchess of Sussex, former actress and lifestyle blogger; Prince Harry, once the most popular royal of his generation, now distanced from the monarchy; King Charles, attempting cautious reconciliation; Prince William and Kate Middleton, symbols of continuity; and outside the palace walls, figures in America, celebrities like Stassi Schroeder and political voices like May Mailman, who began weighing in on Meghan's influence. What's at stake is not simply reputation. It is a broader question of trust, loyalty, and credibility, qualities older audiences value deeply. If a pattern exists, if allies repeatedly turn into critics, then the issue is not coincidence, it is character.
I think her cursive is cute, but it's sometimes illegible. If she's going to continue trying to make it a thing, it would be smart to make it more digestible to a generation that wasn't taught cursive. And look, this was the post. I mean, seriously, this woman can't write, okay? She can't write because it is impossible to read. The note says, let me tell you about the birds and the bees and the flowers and the trees and the moon above. Then the post's caption completes the phrase, and a little thing called love. Obviously a reference from the 1965 song, The Birds and the Bee.
Consider the sequence. Meghan's estrangement from her father, Thomas Markle, was framed as a tragic family rift. Her falling out with former best friend Jessica Mulroney was explained as distancing during scandal. Now in America, loyal influencers and even political commentators describe something similar. Stassi Schroeder unfollowed Meghan, declaring on air, "I am furious. This is the last straw." The immediate trigger was trivial, a PR gift box sent to critics, not fans. But the symbolism mattered.
What are you talking about? What are you thinking? But there's something really weird about the cursive, right? Queer Lips of Truth put it to me this way.
Once again, Meghan seemed unable to nurture loyalty. May Mailman, on a New York Times podcast, took this further, calling it Meghan Markle syndrome, a cultural fixation on victimhood. The phrase caught on because it resonated with a pattern people already sensed. Meghan, whether in Hollywood or Windsor, cast herself as besieged, misunderstood, the outsider against the institution. The problem is repetition. One person's criticism can be dismissed, but when the pattern spans family, friends, palace, and now American supporters, the audience begins to connect the dots.
Writing Meghan Markle's calligraphy is a perfect window into her soul, a swirling mess of vanity and pretension masquerading as elegance. What could be simple, legible script devolves into an overwrought spectacle of exaggerated loops, high-flown ascenders that reach for the heavens like they're auditioning for a royal decree, and those needless flickers at the ends of letters, little dramatic flourishes that scream, "Look at me," rather than convey actual words. No sane person writes like this in everyday life. It's the handwriting equivalent of wearing a tiara to the grocery store. All show and no substance, revealing a personality more concerned with performative sophistication than genuine communication. And he asked me for my thoughts, and I have to say...
The failed reconciliation with King Charles illustrates this clearly. Reports in US Weekly painted the meeting as emotional, even tearful. Yet leaks to the British press contradicted this, describing it as cold, formal, cautious. Once again, competing narratives emerged. One distinctly Hollywood, the other bureaucratic and restrained. The contrast fed the perception that Meghan and Harry shaped the story to suit their image.
So there. I am so there for you. I don't know if other people have really picked up on this, but the calligraphy is totally weird. It's always been weird. It shows how she's always had this total elevated status about who she thinks she is, living in this pretend world, living in this fantasy world. And I just feel...
And when Harry later contradicted Meghan's strongest claims of royal racism by softening his own language, the inconsistency became glaring. For an older audience, credibility hinges on consistency. When narratives shift, trust erodes. Even Meghan's attempts to monetize attention, promoting products after negative headlines, reinforced this perception. What once looked like entrepreneurial savvy began to look like opportunism.
It was on a major New York Times podcast, and in what was described as an extraordinary, entirely unprovoked salvo, really spoke about the fact that Meghan Markle's syndrome, that concept of woke victimhood, is a big part of the current downfall of not just America, but the West. Listen to this.
The critique of her ornate calligraphy posts, dismissed as pretentious vanity masquerading as elegance, was less about handwriting and more about authenticity. Viewers asked, is this real communication or performance? In a media age where sincerity is currency, Meghan's flourishes backfired.
Okay.
I love Kate Middleton.
I know. Well, now you're her number one motherfucking fan.
Number one fucking fan.
Fee-Diner, look, you've got to decode this for me because this is all coming from America, of course, but it's interesting, isn't it? Because it's like you've got the political world turning very much like diagnosing this Meghan Markle syndrome of victimhood, but she hasn't been able to keep the influencers on side either.
The real turning point was not handwriting or PR packages. It was the sense that Meghan had begun to sabotage Harry's fragile reconciliation with his family. According to palace sources, Charles remained wary, fearing any private meeting would be spun into media theater. When Harry reportedly leaked one version to American outlets and the palace countered with another, trust collapsed. Meghan's involvement, drafting statements with Harry, framing events in emotional terms, was seen as decisive.
Notified. This is hilarious. That she was going to be sent a PR package from as ever, but it never arrived. Now, this was about 5 months ago. She's still waiting.
Okay, so they were reached out to and told that they were getting this, and
Isn't
then they
that
got
kind
it.
of crazy though that you get reached out to and you're told and by the way, you're getting a package from Meghan Markle.
Oh no, wait, I was told.
How self-important.
I was told
what?
4 or 5 months ago, and it never arrived. So I was tricked.
What is happening?
And there was a full week that went by that I would wake up and be like, "Is this the day?"
It's so sad.
No, it was so sad. I am really done. I'm gonna just channel my fan passion into something else. Funnel that into something else.
Yeah, who does she hate? Give it to Prince William. I mean, I'm petty as fuck. That's what I would do.
No.
For the monarchy, this confirmed suspicions. Meghan was not merely adjacent to the conflict, she was driving it. For Harry, the consequence was isolation. His family's guarded distance was no longer temporary. It became structural. And for American observers, this reinforced the pattern. Meghan alienates allies, then presents herself as victim of betrayal. What's telling is that even those who once excused this behavior, loyal friends, supportive celebrities, began to see it the same way. Today, Meghan's position in America is paradoxical. She retains visibility, media coverage, and a platform. Yet the tone has shifted. Where once she symbolized independence from an outdated monarchy, she now represents self-inflicted drama. Her product lines struggle. Her friendships fray. Even political commentators invoke her name as shorthand for cultural grievance. For Harry, the implications are heavier. His personal reputation is tied to hers, and palace insiders suggest reconciliation with his family is nearly impossible, while Meghan drives the narrative. The broader lesson resonates with older viewers. Patterns of behavior repeat. When someone cannot sustain loyalty in family, friendships, institutions, and now even among supporters. The issue may not be the world conspiring against them. The issue may be within. Looking forward, Meghan faces a narrowing path. She can attempt rebranding, but credibility once lost is difficult to rebuild. As one insider put it, she has mistaken visibility for respect. For the monarchy, the fallout is clearer. Distance preserved, trust withheld. Whether the relationships can be salvaged remains uncertain, but the broader pattern is undeniable. Meghan Markle's story is no longer just about royal exit or Hollywood reinvention. It is about the cost of repeated fractures, of loyalty lost, of narratives that shift too often, of allies turned critics. For Harry, the personal toll may be deepest. For Meghan, the public consequences continue to unfold. And for viewers watching closely, the lesson is sobering. Patterns ignored are patterns repeated, and reputation, once compromised, rarely recovers.